Hello, my name is Martha Caswell, and this is my sociological self-portrait. Before we dive in, I would like to take a moment to discuss what I will be sharing with you today. It is my hope that after discussing each of these points listed, which also correspond to each week's assignments, that I will have formed a portrait of who I am and how society has shaped me. I will start with a general introduction covering who I am and some basic general info about myself. As we dig into the topics, we will cover sociological imagination, in regards to my decision to enroll in college and what I intend to do with my career. During the culture section of this presentation, I will share on my cultural background and how it has shaped me into who I am today. Next, we will discuss agents of socialization and review some of those agents that have had the most impact in my life. In the status to structure section, I will display both past and present statuses I have held in my life and how they have placed me where I am in the larger structure of society. Moving on to deviance and social control, I will discuss the implications of deviant behavior in my life and how I have grown through those challenges. While reviewing the social mobility section, I will demonstrate how lifestyle, area, and conditions I was born into have shaped me into who I am today. Next, I will show race and ethnicity and how that has shaped me sociologically and any barriers that I have experienced. And finally, I hope to show a collective effort that demonstrates who I am on a sociological standpoint and where I hope to grow in my future. I hope you enjoy this presentation. When thinking about how to present myself in just a brief summary, these are the three things that stuck out the most. First and foremost, my love and faith in Jesus Christ. Everything in my life that is good today has come from the grace and mercy of God and His Son. On the left-hand side of the screen, you'll see my peer support certification from Northern Kentucky University. And on the right side of the screen, you will see why I'm drawn to addiction recovery. This is my 2-year medallion that I just received on July 9th for being clean and sober from drug use for 2 years. As we look into sociological imagination, we take a look at why I chose to return to college, why I chose CU, and why I chose social work. I decided to return to college just this past year to work towards my bachelor's degree in social work. I currently work in addiction recovery and want to further my education and enhance my careers. I also plan to obtain my master's degree in social work as well. I chose CU for a couple of different reasons. Initially, a coworker who had also been through the program recommended the program. And when I investigated the school and found out that it was a Christian-based university, I was sold on the idea. I chose to concentrate my degree in the field of social work to work with other addicts in addiction recovery. But I also had a social worker during my time in addiction that really made a life-changing impact on me. The love and care she showed for me and her never-ending faith and belief in me that I could recover powered me as I started my recovery journey. No matter how many setbacks I had, she was right there encouraging me to dust it off and try again. I really hope to one day be that beacon of hope in someone else's life. The culture in which we are raised can greatly shape the life that we live. I was raised in a family that believed in God as our Lord and Savior, and I too carry those same beliefs as an adult. I know all good I have in my life is because of God, and I know that all of my sins are forgiven because God gave His only Son on that cross to pay for my future sins. Family was also a very important part of my culture. I was raised to put family before all else, and I still maintain those values today. I was also raised to be a positive and productive member of society. Although I strayed from this path for a great deal of my life, I have found through working the program of recovery how to be a responsible and productive member in society. On this slide, you will see various agents of socialization that have impacted my life. These people are all God given and have shaped me into who I am today. In the first picture, you see my fiance, Tony. He supports my decisions and pushes me to better myself every day. He has shown me a type of love I never knew possible. In the second picture is my beloved grandmother. who taught me how to worship God and have a relationship with Him. She has a calm, beautiful, and serene soul, and I yearn to achieve those same traits one day. In the next picture, you will see my parents, my dad and my stepmom. My dad has never given up on me and has shown me how to be a productive member in a family. And my stepmom, who has never made me feel like a stepdaughter and taught me that family is family and there is no step. In the next picture are my three beautiful children who shaped me to be a better version of myself. In the next picture is my work staff who love and support me and guide me in learning new things so that I can continue to grow. The next picture is my beautiful sponsor, Toki. She guides me through the steps of recovery and is always there to pick up the phone. The following picture is my two granddaughters, and they shaped me into being a grandmother today, which is a new love that I had never known before. And then the last picture is my beautiful puppy, Gemma. She provides so much emotional support in my life. As we go throughout our lives, we hold certain statuses. I wanted to take this opportunity to highlight my master statuses. For a large part of my life, my master status was addict. This shaped everyone's view of me. Those who saw me coming knew to turn around. I was known as a thief and nothing but trouble. My life was in turn drastically shaped around those beliefs to the point of losing self-worth and self-value. Through the amazing process of recovery, I've been able to transform that master status into a new one, addict in recovery. As long as I stay clean, I will always have this status. Those who see me coming now can't wait to talk to me, and they see what kind of life that I have forged for myself. I'm also able to help others find that same new master status in their life. Our master statuses refer us out to groups. We adapt to groups based on our statuses in life. In this slide, I just simply wanted to highlight the program of Narcotics Anonymous because through this process, I have learned to be a new version of myself. I've been accepted into a group of people who have suffered from addiction and found a solution and are willing to share that solution with me. Another primary group I belong to is my family group. Because of my life in sobriety, I am able to be an active part in every one of these people's lives today, and that forms my sociological self-portrait by the fact that I am a mother, a fiance, a grandmother, and a daughter today. Another integral group in my life is my work family. I have the blessing and privilege of belonging to a group of people who make a difference in each other's lives. My master status of recovering addict always led me to this primary group. We support each other through everything good and bad and hold each other up when we're down. We work as a team, and I am incredibly grateful for every person in this picture and who they framed me to be. The next topic I would like to cover is deviance and self-control. When looking back at my most deviant behavior, I again have to go back to my time in active addiction. Drug use, of course, is seen by the general public as deviant behavior, and there are so many behaviors that go with that deviant behavior. During my time in active addiction, I was seen as a liar, a thief, and generally someone you just didn't want to be around. Being lost in the grips of addiction did not award me the opportunity to care what others thought of me and how they perceived me. Associated with my deviant behavior were many legal complications, including criminal charges and jail time. The views of others do shape our sociological perspective in that we start to believe the statuses that other people place on us. My sociological self-portrait must demonstrate my deviant behavior because it has led me to my corrective behaviors and my life in recovery. Now, with a little over 2 years in recovery, I try my hardest to follow all rules and laws and regulations. I don't encourage or engage in deviant behavior today. As a result, society is more accepting of me and who I am. Next, I would like to look at social mobility and how where we are raised and the family context in which we are raised shapes who we become and our success rate as adults. The success of our parents can gravely impact our future success. If our parents went to college, we are more likely to go to college. If our parents spent the majority of their lives not working and not furthering their education, then we too are likely to carry the same traits. In my life, my mother continued her education and my father provided a work ethic. So I feel like I have an equal mix of both of those. I have a very strong work ethic as well as a very strong desire to further my education. Where we are raised can also impact our social mobility. If we're raised in a small rural town where there's not many job opportunities, our chances of success are much less than they are if we live in a more urbanized environment. About 2 years ago, I made the decision to move to a more urbanized environment, and that has awarded me so many different potential opportunities. Our values and beliefs that we are raised with as children do carry over into our adult lives. My value and belief for God and family have carried with me throughout my life. Race and ethnicity play a part in our sociological self portrait. I believe a lot of this starts with our upbringing and how we are raised. If we are raised to be discriminatory, then we too probably will be discriminatory. I am incredibly blessed to say I was raised in an environment where you did not discriminate against another and you treated all people as people. Because of that, when looking at my sociological self portrait, you will see many people of different races and ethnicities as part of my social circles, and I am very grateful for each and every one of them. They all bring something different to the table, and I get a variety of culture, which feeds my spirit and helps me grow sociologically. We have come to the conclusion of this presentation. I thought the best way to represent my sociological self-portrait is to show different aspects of who I am today. So that's what I've tried to do on this last slide. I highlight myself as a Christian, as a recovering addict, as a peer support specialist, a student, and as a daughter, mom, fiance, and grandmother. These are the most important titles and statuses in my life, and they frame who I am sociologically and how I relate to society. I wanted to include this verse in this presentation because this is my life-saving Bible verse. This is a verse that was read to me in the county jail that reinstilled my hope, faith, and love in God. As I was working towards achieving longer terms of sobriety, this very verse has been in my life from day one. This is Psalms 40, verse 2. He lifted me out of the slimy pit, out of the mud and the mire. He set my feet upon a rock and gave me a firm place to stand. I related this verse so much to my addiction, being that slimy pit and that mud and the mire, and how God raised me out of the mud and the mire and set my feet upon the rocks of jail and helped me start my foundation in recovery. Every step I've taken, that rock has gotten a little bit bigger and a little bit bigger, and now I can reach out a helping hand to the next addict in recovery and help to try to pull them out of the slimy pit of addiction. We have come to the end of this presentation. I sincerely hope you enjoyed this as much as I have enjoyed making this presentation. Thank you very much.